Hey, it's Joddie Taylor of SnackySays. Welcome back to my podcast, the SnackySays podcast. Today I am chatting about spring. Depending on where you are in the world, spring is coming. Spring is upon us. If it's not springtime in your part of the world, save this. Or, you know what? It doesn't even have to be spring. Maybe this will get you in the mood for something a little bit different. So today I'm just chatting about things that will help you get into the spring mood if you even need help, right? Because this time of year, the time is about to change. I think when this goes out, the time will have changed, so we'll lose an hour, at least where I am, which is fine because more sunlight, and I'm definitely solar powered. So a couple things happening with the change of seasons. You're going to get more sun, and even though you lose an hour, at least again where I am, it feels like you're getting more time because there's more sun in the day. So in the winter, maybe you leave for work and it's dark, and you leave work and it's dark. All of that is over. And then second, yay, it gets warmer. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I feel like it's getting warmer, but that's just my imagination. It's just sunnier. The temperature hasn't actually changed. Again, at least not around here. So I have some things for you, some ideas. As usual, when I talk about ideas like gift ideas, inspiration, it's just like a jumping off point. You don't have to go out. Well, you don't have to do anything, but you don't have to go out and buy any of these things. But I've been thinking so much about spring, so I went looking for things that would help me get into the spring mood. First, let's start with home. I've spoken about this book before. It's called Jungalow Decorate Wild by Justina Blakeney. I always mispronounce her name. I got this book, I'm hugging it, you can't see, as a gift from one of my friends. Thank you, friends, just in case you're listening, thanks again. I love this book so much. I gotta stop hugging it. I don't wanna tear the cover. Now, when you open it, you might think, Joddie, I don't know, it's not screaming spring. And that's because it has a whole bunch of, I'm flipping through it, a whole bunch of different ideas for the home, styling tips, everything from wallpaper to paint to plants to tiles. It is just an embarrassment of riches. So why did I pick this book to include in things to get you into the spring spirit and spring mood? It's because it's a coffee table book. So if you don't change anything else in your home this spring or whenever you're listening to this, this would be a great addition. Put it on your coffee table, get some inspiration and ideas, number one. Number two, you could actively use this book to change things around in your home if you're keen. And again, it's not like you're going to open this book and be like, oh, everything's pastel and now I'm going to decorate my home in pastel colors. But spring is about blooming and, changing seasons and different colors, different styles. And I think this is a great jumping off point. I love this book so much. This book is a keeper. If you get this book, I promise you, you'll be like leafing through it. You'll go back to it. This is a keeper. This is one of those things. If you listen to my voice before, it feels like I'm spring cleaning every other season, regardless of the season. This book is my forever book. I'll always have this. Okay, so that was number one. Number two, I just mentioned pastel colors, right? So in thinking about pastel colors and spring, Igloo has a really cute, they have about two colors that I would say, one, two, three. Three colors that I would say are spring colors. So like kind of lilac, mint green, baby pinkish. And that's the tag along to cooler. That's a mouthful. I don't know how they came up with that. It's a little igloo cooler. It comes in a variety of colors, but I'm focusing on the spring-like colors. And I mentioned this, of course, because it's getting warmer, or it's spring. We can finally get out into these streets or into parks with a cooler. I'm going to share a couple of recipes in a moment, but I'm starting with a cooler for your drinks and maybe your lunch, depending on what you can fit in there. And then next, I found a floral bento box. If you don't know, I love bento boxes. I only have one. Why does that feel wrong? Yes, I only have one, but I love the one I have. And because I was planning on getting another one, but I didn't get it yet. So actually, the one I was planning on getting is not a bento box. It's a dosorak, which is, excuse my pronunciation, which is it's a Korean lunchbox. It's a different style. Anyway, pretty in pastel bento box. I found this on Etsy. It's currently on sale. I hope it's still on sale. Is there a timer here? Hopefully it'll still be on sale when I post this, which I'm probably gonna definitely post this Sunday, March 10th, upload it rather. Okay, so I picked this after going looking in the interwebs for floral kind of spring lunch boxes and bento boxes, because it reminds me of something you might see on a wallpaper. I don't know where they got this pattern. And even though it does remind me of spring, it has a little bit of pink, but the other colors are almost autumnal, almost, but not quite, because there's orange and there's like a deep frosty, not really deep, kind of like a frosty red. Anyway, it's giving me spring vibes, so I'm including it. So we started with a coffee table book, and then an igloo. We're moving outdoors, an igloo, and then a bento box. So the bento box, of course, you can bring outdoors. When I say outdoors, I'm picturing you on your lunch break, outside in the park, sitting on a bench, or maybe it's the weekend and you're out on a picnic and you have your bento box and your igloo. Next, speaking of going outdoors, I want to encourage you, because I'm totally projecting here. I love parks and walks and hiking. Most of the times when I'm walking, I'm truly out here in these streets. I'm just on the sidewalks and cars zooming by. But I love a good park. And so there are different levels. If you live in the States, and I am not 100% sure, no, I'm actually pretty sure. I think this is applicable to most countries. How would I know that? This may be applicable in your country, but at least in the United States, there are levels to the parks. So there's your local park, so that's like the city. Then there are state parks, which is your province or the larger, how can I say this? Not region, but like the larger grouping of cities and towns. And then there's national parks. So I have been to all three, at least in the States and in different places. And I've always find them to be like a good time. Every park is different. And sometimes, especially with national parks, what you're looking at almost seems maybe more like a museum and not a park with trees and rivers and lakes and stuff like that. But I would encourage you to take a look around your neighborhood, your city, your state. If you want to do a little road trip for your state, it might be 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours away from you. National parks, most states I think have national parks. And if you are in the military or you've served in the military, you can often, not even often, I think it's 100%, get a discount or maybe even a free pass. I'll put a link in the show notes. So anyway, get out there, get to the parks or hiking, or like me, just walking around. I feel so much more. Can I say that? I feel more invigorated on my walks. Winter walks were killing me. It's still winter, but I keep pretending it's spring. It's officially still winter, but the winter walks were a tough one, man. They were a tough sell because it's cold out there. But needs must, gotta move my body. So I was out there, but it just hits different. It just hits different in the spring. It's a much easier sell in the spring. So it's brighter and lighter, and you don't have to like bundle up. Anyway, let's move on. So covered walks, and I think I just have two more things. I'm gonna get back to food in a second because that was two or three things ago. But the other day I saw someone wearing Nike Air Max in pink and gray. I couldn't find her exact one. That's not true. I found it, but not in my size. So let's forget about those. So that led me down a rabbit hole. Interesting thing about Nike Air Max and Nikes in general, I've never felt the need to get Nike Air Max or Nikes in general. Not like I had to have them. I tend to wear Adidas. All of my sneakers the last few years for sure have been workout sneakers anyway, Adidas. But I'm eyeing these Air Max, so I'm going to share them with you. They're the Nike Air Max 90 LV8, which makes me think of level 8. I don't know if that's what it stands for. SE. So let me say that one more time. The Nike Air Max 90 LV8 SE. And these have almost like, I want to say a wedge heel. It's described here as a stacked Nike Air unit. So you know those bubbles in Air Max? I, I might have to get these. I feel like these are on the wish list. Oh, you know what else is coming up? Because I said wish list, it reminded me of Treat Yourself Day. So last year, me and some of my fam bam and friends did Treat Yourself Day. And for us, that's May 19th. And we're doing it again this year. So that's something you can do to be in the spring spirit, is plan a Treat Yourself Day. If you don't know Treat Yourself, I'll put a link in the show notes. It's from a few episodes of Park and Recreations, which is an amazingly funny TV show. And so the point of Treat Yourself Day is to treat yourself with anything you want. And I'm thinking about what I'm going to get this year. I wanted, like last year I got ramen, and I've been thinking like that wasn't much of a treat. Oh, and I also got a Fitbit band. But then I looked at the ingredients, and I'm like, man, that's like a lot of sodium. And that usually it's not something that I would eat. So now I get why I got it. But treat yourself can be anything. It could be, jewelry, diamonds, gold, platinum, or ramen that you wouldn't usually eat. I got vegan ramen. I'll put a link in the show notes to that episode because I did talk about it. Okay, so these Nike Air Max, the color, I never said. It says Adobe medium soft pink, dark team red. This is giving me a mauve vibe, and so that's why I'm including it in the spring. I initially wanted the pink and gray sneaker, which was not this exact one. This one has extra height. I feel like this is a good look. Check these out. They come in different colors. Where are they? Actually don't really care for the other colors, but maybe it's because I'm in this mood or vibe of trying to find spring things. Oh, you know what? Based on purchases, the color I picked might not be as popular as the other ones. What's the most popular color? What is this, gold? Light or wood brown. How do they come up with these colors? What does this even mean? This is what happens when you don't know what I don't know what it is, so I'm like, anger. What does this even mean? Just because I don't know what these colors mean doesn't mean I should get angry. Let's move on. So the two recipes I have for you are one is one I've spoken about probably a few times over the years now, in person or online, because it is my go-to recipe. I first made it for a Super Bowl, I think, like years and years ago, and then I did I don't know, I think it was Thanksgiving or something. This is like, I think this recipe, I think the blog post is from 2011 or something like that. Let me check. Anyway, it's called orzo salad. It's a pretty simple recipe to put together, and you can add things that you like. Yep, June 5th, 2011. That's how long I've been making it, or different versions of it. I love this thing, and it tastes even better cold. Even though it does taste good, like warm or hot, but this is something you can definitely make and put aside. It's great for picnics. It's great for large get-togethers. You could even meal prep this and then eat it throughout the week. I think it's more of a side, but I've definitely eaten it as an entree. So this has, oh yeah, I haven't made this in a while. I'm like, why haven't I made this? Because it has cheese in it, and I don't really eat cheese anymore. Okay, it has a red wine vinegar, honey, olive oil, orzo. Of course, orzo is like, it looks like large rice grains. It's pasta though. Cherry tomatoes, green onions, fresh basil. You know, I wasn't always able to get fresh basil. Sometimes I would just use like the dry one, and that was fine. And feta cheese. Ah, feta cheese. Dang, I love feta cheese, salty. Okay, this is a good one. And then I also thought of strawberry spinach salads. I have two different recipes for you, similar ingredients. One is from Two Peas in Their Pod. I like their recipes. I've made a few different things from their website before. And the other one is from Well Plated. They're literally both spinach strawberry salads, but I will make sure to make clear which is from which website, so you can check those out. Anything else? Yeah, from Love and Lemons. No, I'm gonna save that. Yeah. Okay, that's it. 15 minutes. We're done. These are the things that I have been thinking about gathering, searching for some spring spirit inspiration, mood lifting type things, like a floral bento box, looking through Jungalow for ideas for a spring refresh, or just to make me feel like there's a shift in the season in my mood. Recipes that are lighter, maybe not as hot or warm as we did in the winter. So the strawberry spinach salad feels fresh and light and something you can eat going into the summer. And orzo salad, again, it works as a side. I've also had it as an entree. You can add like a protein, and there you go. That's your meal right there. I'd probably add a little veg on the side if you're keen. Okay, that is it. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode or any of my podcast episodes, please share with a friend or three. And if you haven't already, please subscribe at joddie.substack.com. Whether or not it's spring in your neck of the woods, I hope that you are feeling healthy, happy, and you're eating all the yummy foods. Thanks for listening. Take care.